The Supreme Court hinted today that it might rule in favor of part of President Biden's immigration agenda. Members of his administration were in court seeking approval to end what is commonly known as the Remain in Mexico policy. It requires people seeking asylum at the southern border to wait in Mexico while their claims are decided. President Trump put the program in place back in 2019. Nearly 70,000 people were shuttled back to Mexico while that policy was active. But President Biden wants to terminate it, citing claims that hundreds of migrants were kidnapped, raped, or assaulted while waiting to get into the United States. Joining me now is NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams. So, Pete, were there hints in the oral arguments and the questions from the justices today?
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, this was not the buzzsaw that you might have expected for a Biden policy before the super conservative Supreme Court. And here's the problem. Everybody acknowledges that the government simply doesn't have, Congress has never given the government enough detention space to detain everybody who enters the U.S. illegally and claims asylum. So what to do with them? The Biden administration says, well, we can hold them, we can parole some back into the U.S., allow them to stay here in the U.S. while their claims are adjudicated. And we want to do that, use our law enforcement discretion, and hold the detention space for the people that we don't want wandering around the U.S., that have a criminal record or potential national security threats and run a risk of absconding. Texas and Missouri that sued the Biden administration and persuaded a federal judge in Texas to order the government to keep this program going, saying, no, you have to either detain them or send them back to Mexico. This paroling into the U.S. thing can only be done on a limited case-by-case basis. And that's what the court was struggling with today. And there were, some tough questions for both sides, but the government seemed to recognize, or the court rather, seemed to recognize the government's dilemma here and said that the law does allow, for the benefit of the public, for the administration to release people into the U.S. And that may be what it all comes down to. Does the Supreme Court think that that is enough of a wiggle room for the administration to end this Remain in Mexico program and go back to what it was doing before, which the government told the Supreme Court today is what all the past administrations have done. That no administration, including the Trump administration, has ever taken the view that the law demands, requires them to send these folks back to Mexico if they can't be paroled into the U.S. And that's really what what's all about. And I think the fact that the court was willing to toss this around as much as it did indicates that it's at least open to the idea of letting Biden end this.